unmute your mic, Odie. There you go.
All over again. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Ernest. How are you doing?
Hello,
How you
Ernest.
doing, sir?
Good to see you, sir.
Good seeing you. Miss Norman?
I'm here. How are you?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. Mr. Kendall?
How are you?
I'm hanging
Right,
in there. I'm hanging in there.
Hey, Bill.
Video here. Norma, everybody, am I talking all right?
Yes, Bill.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
I can hear you.
I don't see you though.
No, you don't want to see me. I don't do the camera. It's Skylar's a lot better to look at than I am. So
Bill was telling me he was thought y'all were just tired of seeing him.
yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see, well, hear, see, and everyone's doing well.
Thank you. We're hanging
We
in
have
there.
about one more minute before we start.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Alvaro.
Hello, hello.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Yes, sir.
Hear you good.
Hey, Chicano.
How are you?
All right.
Good.
Okay, everyone, I have 6:30 at this time.
Everyone.
Hello. Hello, Pablo. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
See Kara, and I do believe I see members of the CKJV present also. Hello.
Hi, Mayor Pro Tem.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So it is 6:30 right
Evening.
now, and I would like to start the meeting. Our city secretary, Norma, you did mention that Councilman Chris Flores.
He will not be coming in into the Zoom. He's at a doctor's appointment right now.
Okay. But at this time, Councilman Lopez is present, Councilman Martinez is present, so there's 3 of us, and we do have a quorum. So I will start this meeting at 6:31. And at this time, I would like to have a moment of silence. Thank you. And if we can say our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Pledge
to
allegiance
the
to the
flag
Flag
of the
United
United
States
States
of
America,
and
and to the
and
republic
to the republic for
for
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation
nation,
under
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 God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for
liberty
all.
and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. The next item on the agenda, number 3, is public comments from the audience. At this time, is there anyone from the Zoom meeting that would like to make a comment? There's no comments? Okay, item number 4 are public hearings. We do not have any public hearings. Item number 5 is presentations. Now for the presentations, we have Mr. Ernest Garza and Bill Roberts. They will be giving us an update of the financials. So Mr. Ernest Garza and Mr. Bill Roberts, you have the floor.
Okay. Just letting you know how, the city is still very strong cash position wise, which we've reflected to you on the spreadsheet. The sales tax and franchise tax have been coming in very strong, and we're way ahead of budget there. We're still monitoring the property taxes because people had up till today to pay, and the city of Gregory is very strong, waiting on some commercial and industrial property taxes. So we'll know in the next 30 days how that comes in. So we'll have a better picture, but we are monitoring that very tightly. You have been staying within budget expenditure wise. We're 4 months into the year, so that's 33%, 4 divided by 12. So, and you are expenditure wise hitting that. And once we get the taxes all in, we'll have then we'll come back and tell you, look, this is where, that we are hitting all our numbers. So we also provided you an update on working with the staff. I'm going to just kind of go over the executive summary. I know it's a lot of detail, but let me just say, staff is working extremely hard, and what we realized, they got trained a certain way, so we've had to kind of untrain some of the things they did, and so we can get into a fund accounting basis. So we know you're still short-staffed. Last week I was able to I talked to Dr. Anita Reed with the Texas A&M CC about looking for some interns. And what I told her, look, we're looking for some graduate students, that the city needs and that are in the accounting world. What I told them, what we would provide, myself and Bill, we provide them supervision if they wanted to get their, if they want down the road to go get a CPA, they have to have a year to 2 supervision. So depending if they're in the masters or not. So anyway, we're talking to them so we can get. They're asking for job descriptions, and that's where we're going. I know this was a lot of detail what I sent you, so I'm not meaning to flood and take this to make a 45-minute presentation, but in essence, staff is working hard. We're working with them. We know the volume of work they did do is a lot. So Bill's been working with them, on a daily basis on things. And right now we're working on your budget, making sure the we're we want to keep monitoring things and working with you. And, you know, if you have any specific questions, I can answer them. I won't go into all the details. I gave that to you. It's just, you know, it's just journal entries. We're helping staff and we're creating spreadsheets to make their job easier down the road, so to speak, on a fund accounting type basis to make the auditor happy, Mr. Snedeker. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Yes, Mr. Garza, on the progress and assessment page 3, I was reading where it says no bank accounts were reconciled to the register or reconciled to the bank statement. There were serious issues with not balancing to the register. What was the outcome on that? And why were they being reconciled on a weekly basis?
Why? I just think at times they just got so much volume that they just didn't keep up, and they were miscoding some things. And that's something we've been working. And Bill, I'll let you be a little more specific with that. Let me get you involved with this issue.
That's a question also to Norma, because I mean, Norma, we do reconcile on a weekly basis.
We reconcile when we get our bank statements. We do daily deposits. But the bank statements have to come in, but when they come in, that's when we do the reconciliation.
And that's just, but isn't that supposed to be done on a weekly basis, or is that just on a month-to-month?
It's on a monthly basis because that's when we get the bank statements, once a month, at the end of the month or the beginning of the month.
Okay.
Is when we get our bank statements. So that's when we reconcile to match with the bank.
Okay, I could have sworn that the last time we had a discussion with the Noah Snedeker that needed to have been done on a weekly basis.
If Councilman, there are some due tos and due from accounts now that we've separated the two funds.
Talking about the system in general.
Sir?
The two accounts we're talking about, system in general?
Yes, sir. We separated those out per Mr. Snedeker. We went back to October the 1st of this fiscal. So the statements not reconciling to the register, they would reconcile to the bank, but in the accounting software, they didn't reconcile to the actual register. They may be more or less. So we did have reconciliation with the bank, but in the accounting world, there's a demand to reconcile to the actual register in the software.
I understand. But that problem has been corrected already?
Yes, sir. We are reconciling with the register. And there are some times when we don't, and that's when we have to backtrack and find out what the issue is. But again, I don't want to beat a dead horse. The staff wasn't adequately trained when we had the funds combined, and now that we've separated them, it's really a different accounting world. I know you're familiar with it, but it's very difficult to untrain.
Yeah, because I know that, well, I don't know if it had to do with the QuickBooks, the changes for the QuickBooks, but I mean, as long as it's been corrected, because this is where the financials can get out of hand by not reconciliation on a monthly basis or weekly basis. Also, this other one on page 3 as well, the staff was instructed to move $450 out of the systems account to account ending 9163 every month, but they weren't given a specific reason. Is there a reason for that?
You know, Norma and I talked about that, and she's going to have to refresh my memory. I think it was because the system bank, they never could reconcile it because of the way the city hall is bringing in their
Credit cards.
their
credit card
transactions.
swipes. Yeah.
So we actually had 3 banks that we were hitting at City Hall and 3 different swipe machines. Norm and I visited, and we shut down one credit card swipe machine so that now we just hit the general fund bank and the system bank. So with everything going into the system bank account, at City Hall and also the online portal, we've been able to correct that. I can't answer the 450. I understood it was just a kind of beef up system because it would never balance to the register. And I don't know, is that correct, Norma? Because
Yes, sir.
okay.
That was Jack's way of trying to reconcile with the system account. Because he said he was never able to, that would be one account that he was always having trouble reconciling.
If I can say, Mr. Martinez, what's happened is, staff was trained incorrectly. And, so, you know, when you have to kind of untrain and they have bad habits, so we've had to, you know, and so we've been working on that and just keep going over until you learn how to swing again, so to speak. And, but, you know, they did what they were trained, and so we've had to adjust these things, and they're trying. It's just sometimes that you tend to default to things you shouldn't do, and to think, because they're just trying to rush through so much volume. But we are hitting that very hard with them, and Bill's got some more training later this week, so we're taking advantage of y'all being closing at times. So we're going to keep emphasizing that. We want them to understand it so well that they can teach it back to us. Then I know they know it, so to speak.
Okay. This question wasn't to raise eyebrows. I just want to make sure that
I understand.
things are being done in a positive manner, and a correction has been taking place as well.
Yes, sir.
I don't have no more questions on this progress and assessment. I do thank you for that, Mr. Garza, because it's very informative, and I see there's a lot of detail.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Councilman Lopez, did you have any comments or any kind of questions on the summary itself or the presentation?
Not right now.
Okay, sir. Well, I want to thank Councilman Martinez. The questions that you asked were the same questions that I had this morning. I met with Norma to ask her the same questions, and also about the struggles that they're going through right now. They are understaffed. And in talking also with Ernest this afternoon, after our conversation, he did mention about hopefully some interns that will be from the university. Hopefully they will be able to come in and help out. But later on, after, you know, when we get into our agenda, it's a recommendation or a future agenda item that I will be talking about, where we need to hold a workshop. We need to amend the budget, especially, and the reason I had called Ernest and I had met with Norma this morning was that financial line about the judges. I wanted to make sure that that line item, as I had requested from Bill a couple months back, and he did send me another email. And on that email, he broke it down to where at this time for 8 months, what he's figuring out is 9,600 that the budget for a judge is. And then,
Okay, we can discuss that when we get there.
oh yeah, but the reason I want to bring it up is because when I was talking with with Ernest, I did let him know that before any amendments or changes are done, that we need to hold a workshop for the council's approval.
I'm gonna
I
agree.
just wanted to make that clear.
Thank you.
But anything else, hopefully, as I was talking with you, Ernest, about, just let us know and hopefully we can work something out so we can start hiring a bookkeeper.
Yes, ma'am. We definitely will. And again, we're monitoring the property taxes real closely, because, you know, you got some big taxpayers that pay at the last, which I understand, but you know, that, you know, once we know that, then we can come back to you. Look, this is what you have available.
That sounds good. All right. Thank you, Mr. Garza and Bill Roberts, for your presentation.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the item number 6. It's a consent agenda. All of the following items are considered to be self-explanatory by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests. The approval of minutes, meeting of January 18, 2021. Council members, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes on the consent agenda?
I didn't see no discrepancies or any errors, so I'll make motion to approve the meeting minutes for January 18th.
Thank you. Councilman Martinez approves the minutes of meeting for January the 18th, 2021. So the next item, number 7, action items. It's item number A. It is discussion and possible approval of donation agreement between CKJV and the city of Gregory for a new municipal complex. Council members, at this time, since we didn't get it on the packets, I would like to ask that we go into executive session and we can discuss this with our attorney, Cynthia.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem, if I may ask, before we go into executive session,
Mhm.
if we do go, items B, C, D, and E, they're all related to a judge issue. I would like to recommend to the council, if we can just table all those for further discussion.
I agree.
Like for a further discussion for another council
Well,
meeting?
see, the way it was worded and there's been some miscommunication between Judge Bean and city secretary or yes, in the city. So before we move forward with any of that and start appointing and reassigning, I think that it's best if we just table all items. Unless you want to hear a motion on it, it's up to you, but I would recommend we table.
Well, Councilman Martinez, at this time, because of all the backlogs that we're having right now, we have it on the agenda set up according to the way it's listed, and I would like to go ahead with those action items. But first, to take action on item number A.
Okay, I mean, I'm
So
just,
as a-
saying, so we don't have to keep everybody in waiting while we go into executive session, but I'm still gonna recommend that we table all items.
Okay, but right now we're gonna go under executive session.
Okay,
So
sorry, folks.
pursuant, the city council will recess its open meeting and reconvene in closed session. Item A, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 for consultation with the city attorney and special counsel to receive legal advice regarding a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Government Code to include the following matters. Item 1, the municipal complex project and related contracts and agreement, donation agreement. So at this time, I would like to close at 6:50 for executive session.
I can move everybody to the waiting room for you to have executive session, and I'll leave this computer and go in the other room. Does that sound okay with you?
You're asking mayor or pro tem or?
Are you asking?
The council. I'm gonna
Oh,
see if
yes.
I can put everybody in the
I'm so-
waiting room. Put
Okay,
everybody, but is council here? Is he the 8062 number?
Are you hosting this
No.
meeting right now?
I'm a co-host to make sure that we get it recorded. Right, Cynthia's here.
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Kubitschek.
Right.
I'm here.
Okay,
Right,
he's
well,
in the
I'm gonna start putting people in the
8062.
wait. I'm gonna start putting people in the waiting room. Just go ahead and hang on until executive session is over and Norma will start putting this back in.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, I will exit the room.
So Alvaro,
So this is going to be recorded?
No,
No, no record. Okay.
no recording.
Okay, how do I do on record?
Pause it. Let me go pause.
It shows record only.
Yeah, 'cause-
I'm trying to pause it.